Andy Ruiz is confident that he can do better than Dillian Whyte or Carlos Takam. Heavyweight contender Andy Ruiz is very confident as he counts down the days until his showtime with four-belt holder champion Anthony Joshua, who makes his American debut. The contest takes place on Saturday night at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Ruiz's LA replacement for Jarrell Miller, who was pulled for testing for multiple drugs from the fight after testing positive for a performance enhancement drug on performance enhancement drug. Ruiz is a huge underdog in the bout, but believes he has the necessary tools to expose Joshua. After watching numerous tapes, Ruiz feels as though he's pinpointed the flaws in the unified champion's game. There are weaknesses, Ruiz told Sky Sports. He's the best right now because he has the belt, but the guy he has fought, I sparred with them, and they wouldn't want to fight me. AJ has a style which makes me look impressive. Yes, he's strong and big, but my style will take away his advantages. This is business. I have nothing bad to say about AJ. I'm the challenger. He's the champion. There's respect between me and him, but inside the ring there will be no respect, and I will try to knock him all the way out. And Ruiz believes he can do a lot better than the two opponents who gave Joshua a lot of trouble. Carlos Takam, Dillian Whyte, I thought I can do better than those guys. I'm an exciting fighter. People look at me and say, he's slow, he'll get tired, but I'm a combination fighter. I move, I throw punches. I go in to knock my opponents out, Ruiz said. Everybody that Joshua has fought is scared. They move around and try not to get hit, but I'm not scared of getting hit. I'm here to get hit, and I hit back. People like watching me fight because I'm not scared to bring a fight. 2 hands, let's go. What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Pop, pop. You know what it is, and this is the Two Hands Up show. All right, man. So Andy Ruiz is just feeling like Andy Ruiz should. He's feeling very confident in his craft coming into the fight this week coming up, knowing that, he truly feels as though he can beat Anthony Joshua. And honestly, I do believe he has a, smoker's chance. Anybody can get in there and do what's necessary. If they focus, they hone their skills enough, got their feet planted in the right spots and just land their shots, boom, anybody can go down and you can get the win. But in this case, Andy Ruiz, I truly feel like, you're up against a tall order. I think that you're looking at Josh as too much of a statuesque fighter and not a fighter that necessarily can move. Now, if you walked with him in most journeys of his life, you could see that he's a much smoother moving guy than you think. Now, I've seen Joshua in most cases. Now, let's look at it from this point of view. Now, necessarily, Anthony Joshua, the guys he's had to face, has he really had to exercise a lot of head movement? Has he really had to show a lot of, footwork, bravado, in the boxing ring? Has he had to really bring that to your attention to where you had to pay attention to it to be like, oh shit, this guy floats like a butterfly, sings like a bee? Or has he not just had to plant his fighter against guys that don't move well and just knock them the fuck out? Now, there's always a young lion sitting in a pride land, surveying, watching, looking up from you as you sit on the throne, wanting to know if he has it in him, if he can be the guy that can go ahead and take your spot. Now, in this case, Andy Ruiz has every reason to feel like he's the guy that can take your spot, considering, some people mess up their opportunities to be absolutely rich and potentially the heavyweight champion of the road and have the keys to the boxing kingdom. But they opt to do otherwise. And Andy Ruiz just believes he can do it. Many have tried. Many have tried. You can speak from Dillian Whyte's perspective. You can speak from Carlos Takam's perspective. And you could look at it and say, that's easy. I can make it look a lot easier than that. Yeah, you might have a little more fluid movement, but you still are kind of a statuesque target yourself. And, you're going to have to stay on the inside to make it ugly for him. But one thing, Andy, you have to be very, very, very aware of is Anthony Joshua has a devastating uppercut. And I'm sure you've watched his fights if you've seen that Klitschko match. But Andy Ruiz, no less, I told you guys since the beginning, he has a much better chance than Jarrell Miller will ever have. He is a much better fighter than Jarrell Miller. And I think that a lot of fighters don't fight this kid because they are afraid of the embarrassment. Like, who wants to get their ass kicked by the short, pudgy dude? Nobody. I think that will be a stain on your resume, especially if you're one of those PBCs protected. I'm going to try to protect the goose egg kind of fighters. You know, the zero for us, one of you slow motherfuckers. I'll continue. All things considered, if we look at the road that was traveled, that was taken for us to even get to this particular point on this journey, and why we are facing Andy Ruiz, and why Andy Ruiz is in the position to where he gets a shot at 4 heavyweight titles, we have to ask ourselves, how many others before him have been placed, you know, on notice? How many guys did we try to send contracts to make this? So we already know why we are here, but nevertheless, we still ended up 4 opponents later, still in a very, very good position because we are getting a fight that we honestly, genuinely don't know the knockout, when the knockout's coming. That is to say, can Andy Ruiz get knocked out? Because if you look at it from where we look at it, Andy Ruiz fought Joseph Parker, took it to decision. Anthony Joshua fought Joseph Parker, took it to decision. So if you want to use the triangle theory, there's one right there. But nevertheless, I still embrace these gladiators for coming in and putting on a show, and you should too, because it's going to be a better show than you would believe. Now, in the sense of where Anthony Joshua is coming out to make his statement, and he's going for a devastating knockout early, and he sees the holes and he gets the opportunity, I think that he will. And I just got a feeling that, you know, Andy Ruiz is going to go out, he's going to put up a fight, he's going to try to get grimy on the inside, he's going to try to make his way there, and I just think Anthony Joshua is going to execute the range. I think he's going to work him from the outside, use his hands for the reach, and then if Andy Ruiz get inside, I think Andy Ruiz is going to be a little naive to how high of Josh's boxing IQ is when it comes to fighting on the inside and getting dirty with his dirty boxing. And I think he's going to get clipped by an uppercut, and he's going to get dropped within the 4th to the 6th round. I got a feeling there's going to be a devastating stoppage in this fight one way or the other, but it is a good fight, and I love Andrew Ruiz's heart, man. You got to respect the kid's heart, man. He's really coming to fight instead of coming hopped up on HGH. So overall things, what you're looking at is belief. You're looking at a kid with belief in himself, a kid that believes he can get the job done, and a kid that can catch you with a short fucking left hook, considering that is his strongest punch, and he probably can potentially knock Josh out. You know, I'm not saying it's going to get the knockout, because if it came down to it and I had to put my money on it, and we were at the Vegas tables gambling, and we were shaking the dice and we were betting a little bit, we already know my money would be on Joshua by the 4th to the 7th round. But I do believe Andy Ruiz can make this a fight, and he has a potential shot to win. This is Two Hands. That is all I got for you guys to say. And as we always say, when we close this show out, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Andy the Destroyer Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, June 1st on DAZN. I hope y'all subscribe, because I am. Let's go.